Yesterday we did not get up at 5 a.m. We decided to sleep in, and then without an alarm, we woke up at 5:30. But then we went back to sleep. And today's our first day getting back up at 5. What do you think?
I think it's fine. I feel normal.
Yeah, I woke up without my alarm at 4:45.
Yeah.
And I do feel tired, but yesterday was just crazy. Getting up at 9. Wait, is that what time we got up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like not having breakfast till 11 a.m. and just like, oh, I made French toast, by the way. It was fucking delicious.
Yeah, it was super good.
It was super duper good. I'm really glad you liked it. I never liked French toast as a kid. Did you?
Yeah, I loved it. I used to make it all the time.
I was definitely a pancake kid. Yeah, but I wasn't that into eggs, I think, so maybe that was part of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, I made French toast. Oh, right. But yeah, the day went by so fast because we went to bed at the same time we normally do, or normally for getting up at 5, which means we basically just cut 4 hours out of our day. And it really was apparent that we were cutting 4 hours out of our day.
Yeah, I felt very like rushed and stressed for most of it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna get all this done?
Yeah. I think in general for me, I need to get better at not wasting time because adding 4 hours to your life really only helps if you're utilizing that 4 hours.
That's true.
It's just been, I guess the excuse I've been using for myself is that I'm like still waking up. Like I take so long to like really get mentally woken up. When we get up at 5, I usually don't start working until probably like 7. So anyway, this memory card has 36 seconds left on it. Anything you want to say before this memory card fills up? Hi, what are you doing?
Posting Instagram stories for this crazy package that Wet and Wild sent me.
What's in it?
Hold on. I'm right in the middle of shit. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll wait. We'll wait here. We'll just be waiting quietly. Just like always.
Hold on, I just have 2 more frames to edit.
Jeez Louise, we don't have time for that. I just wanted to ask you if you want to go with me to fly the old quadcopter, because I need a break.
Sure, where are you going?
Same spot as always.
I don't know where that is.
I guess I've only gone twice, and it was a different spot both times.
Yeah.
You and I haven't really interacted much at all today. Because we've both just been working. What have you been working on? So it's really hot in here. Ugh, okay.
Drafting a couple blog posts. Using some new makeup and getting together some Instagram content and just replying to people on Instagram. What about you?
I've just been editing the stuff for the venture capital firm all day. Which, it's kind of interesting because most of what I'm doing is actually editing the audio. And that's kind of been time... What? You have to sneeze. It's been pretty time consuming for me because it's not really how I edit. It's not really what I do. It's not what I'm used to doing. It's not something that I'm good at particularly. So if I had known that that's what I was going to have to do, I think I would have shot it differently. Although I'm not entirely sure how I would have shot it, but one of the issues is that so they gave me their audio files for some of the stuff because some of it was a podcast.
Okay.
And the audio files have not yet been edited into the podcast, which is fine. It's not a big deal. The issue is, though, that the rooms that they were in were really echoey, and then they were recording like in one instance 4 different people, and they were all really close to each other, so everybody else's microphone was picking up, like, you know, so when you play it all at once, it doesn't sound very good. And I could leave it because it is the audio they gave me, but I want to give them a really good product. Like I want them to be really happy with it. So I'm going through and like just taking out, you know, basically when there's a spot where only one person is talking, then I'm deleting everybody else's stuff. But because they were so close together, it's, I don't know. Anyway, it's not a huge deal, but it's just been time consuming.
Yeah, it sounds complicated.
It's pretty simple. It's just, again, complicated. And because it's not what I mean, not complicated, time consuming. My brain and my eyes are all like fuzzy from staring at my computer all day, which is why we're leaving the house. My quadcopter that we're about to fly, by the way, I don't have goggles for it, which means I can't see where I'm flying it. And that's not necessarily a big deal with other drones, but with mine, since it's so small, I can't really see what way it's oriented. And when I practice flying it in my simulator, I'm not flying it line of sight, meaning I'm standing on the ground looking up at it. I'm flying it from first person view, meaning I'm viewing it through a camera that's mounted to the drone like I would if I had goggles, which I don't. So anyway, that's all just to say that I'm not really gonna be like flying it so much as just like practicing hovering it and just kind of maintaining control and keeping it in one spot, flying it line of sight. Yeah, and just, you know, kind of, I mean, really, it's more about just getting out of the house.
Yeah.
And being in nature with a little cutie. Right, so back to what I was saying, it's not complicated, it's really simple, it's just time consuming, especially because it's not the type of stuff that I normally do, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's jump to the drone, shall we?
All right.
We decided to come to Grocery Outlet to buy sugar because I'm out of sugar and I need it to make kombucha, which I've been making in mass quantities. We got sugar, which, okay, hold on. Let's go through what we bought. What are those?
Kite Hill yogurts, Greek yogurts.
Okay, how many of those did we get?
6.
Okay, and then we got one of these pie crusts. It's a chocolate snap pie crust.
We got this brownie.
Oh, will you open that? I want to see if it's any good. Let's see if I can.
It's a whole wheat flour brownie with date paste.
Okay. Yeah, let's taste it, huh? We got, okay, so we got these, 2 of these bags of sugar, 4 pounds each, so 8 pounds of sugar. We got this little brownie thing. How many yogurts total?
6.
6 yogurts total. We got this Califia, like, drinkable yogurt drink.
That'd be worth trying.
Berry flavored. And the really exciting thing.
Yeah.
These bags of Daiso.
Which you can totally freeze.
Which can be frozen. We bought 10 of them, and how much, wait, okay, so we bought 10 of them. How much is the total? Do you wanna present the total? Drum roll.
$21.39.
$21.39. Less than $22 to get 10 bags of Daiso, 8 pounds of organic, non-GMO, bone char free sugar. Wait, is this organic? I don't know if it's organic. Don't care.
The Califia stuff.
The Califia stuff.
6 yogurts.
6 yogurts and these.
It doesn't taste like chocolate. It's not bad.
I think it does. It's good.
This company usually makes fig bars. And these taste like they took the fig bar and just mixed some cocoa powder in with it.
There's no fig in it.
Weird.
There's dates, date paste. Oh, really tasty.
It's pretty good.
I wish we had bought more of these. The battery's about to die. So before it does that, I think there's one really important thing that we need to address. And that is... she? You excited for ramen?
Yeah.
Are you excited to see Kanako? Because she's so pregnant?
I mean, that's not why, but yeah. Well, to like do some coordinated campaign.
I was just curious because you said you're going to give discounts.
How was your food? Did you enjoy your ramen?
Yeah, it was really good. There were a lot of onions, but it was really tasty.
Yeah.
How was yours?
Good.
Good. Oh. So now we're at Daiso looking for cooking chopsticks.
What you got there?
Dandy cat mug.
Dandy cat mug.
And then they also have
Bacon.
Vacant Day.
Bacon. Yeah.
This one's kind of sad.
It's a
Angel.
dead dog mug? I think you should get this one.
Special day. How come?
Because it's a special
A good
day.
reminder.
Yeah.
Okay. I was really into like the Redwall books as a kid. Which, did you read those? I kind of feel like you would have.
What is it, Redwall?
Redwall? I mean, they were sci-fi because all the characters were animals, but it was basically like if back in the old days of England, if instead of people, they were all different types of animals.
Yeah. I think that sounds familiar.
Yeah. And then I was really into like The Wind in the Willows and stuff.
That one I've seen pieces of it. I don't think it was on a lot when I was a kid, but I kind of want you to see some other stuff in this because that was like the intro level.
Yeah.
I know you're dizzy, but let me show you
I
some.
want to see.
Tashina and I were going to get up at 5 today, and we just had such a hard time sleeping. The cats were keeping us up. We didn't get up at 5. And when I finally got up, basically, I was laying in bed just kind of like checking YouTube comments and that sort of thing, and I got a text message from our next door neighbor saying that our car was hit last night on the street, which is a huge bummer. So I just called the non-emergency line for the police so we could make a police report, and now I gotta get in touch with insurance. It's just like, I don't know. Tashina keeps saying like, oh, I feel like every time we start to get ahead financially, something happens to set us back. And like, I really don't like thinking that way, but sometimes it really feels like that is what's happening. Well, we got the car towed. So filed a police report, obviously talked to the insurance, got the car towed. Just got our rental car. Like I said, luckily our insurance covers the rental car. Also, really, really hoping that the police report I filed finds the person or leads to finding the person that hit our car, because then I don't have to pay our $500 deductible. Our insurance will go after that person, and they can pay for the damage they did. That said, I am super, super grateful that Tashina and I weren't in the car or getting out of the car when that happened. It could have been a lot worse. We were safe inside, asleep when it happened. So, could have gone way, 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 way worse. I was debating whether or not to even get a rental car because I didn't really think I needed it, and then I remembered that I have another freelance job with that venture capital firm in San Francisco on Friday, so I definitely need to be able to get to that. The fact that the car's messed up doesn't really bother me. The money is a bummer. You know, lately it's been like one financial hit to us after another. But again, I'd rather lose money than somebody I love be hurt, so it's all good. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I need to eat some food. here we are.
We're here.
Uh,
Sorry.
we were gonna film and kind of, you know, continue the vlog as we do. And I just didn't feel like dealing with the weird lighting in the house and holding the camera like this. And I use this like little tripod that good job, that I put the camera on, and it's for my Ronin, and I dropped it in my soup earlier, which I was really sad about. Not because the tripod could just be washed off, but because I was really sad about the soup. Because I've used that tripod some places. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ew.
not places that I would want to eat soup off of.
Should I run that dish through the dishwasher?
No, it barely went in, then I yoinked it right out, but it's just, I'm too much of a germaphobe to like now eat that soup.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I just can't do it. Also, how you feeling? How you doing lately?
Up and down, back and forth. Overall, okay, but things are weird. Like, the stuff happened this morning, you know, like, I feel like that's like a good example of it. And then, like, yeah, it'll be fine, but still, it's just like, ugh. Like, I
feel you. It's like you feel like you can't put your feet on the ground because it keeps falling from underneath you.
Yeah, and I think I felt like that for a few months.
I think this last year it's been a lot more intense than any other time.
Yeah, definitely. I think I felt like that for a while when I did work in an office because we got acquired and things were like, you really aren't sure of the future of your company when you get acquired. I was like, whatever, it'll be fine. Like, I'll skate by. And I think the past year, things have been especially more so that way, like you were saying.
Yeah, things have been pretty bananas.
Yeah, and I feel like this past month has been pretty brutal in that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's been hard.
Ugh.
But it is what it is.
I've been having a tough time, like, just feeling shitty about myself. I did that freelance job, and I was really, really freaking out because I felt like I did a terrible, terrible job, and I felt like they were gonna be like, fuck you, man, what did we pay you for? You're the worst, you suck. And like, it's like no, it's fine. It's like all I've been thinking about. It's like this like pressure on my chest. And especially because it was a referral from somebody else, and then I feel like double stressed because then I'm like, then they're gonna like tell the person who referred them and be like, this guy sucks, why'd you refer him? And then it's just all bad. And then I did another shoot for Gary V's wine for Empathy Wines. And I'm like kind of freaking out about that too. Look who's here.
Oh, look who's gone.
I'm sorry, baby. I shot it really, really envisioning that video that they sent me. And then like 2 days after I sent them all the footage, I was just like, oh God, like I might have taken that video really literally. What if that's not actually how they're planning on using the footage? And if that's not how they're planning on using it, then basically everything I shot is completely useless. And there's no doing it over. Like that was them, I mean, it was them bottling their wine for the next year. And like literally, there's no more wine. Like there's no more, I mean, they're gonna bottle other kinds of wine, but for this wine that they bottled, the rosé, like there's no more to bottle. There's no do-over. There's no second chances. We asked Justin to do this and he f***ed it up. And so I'm just like, it's like, you know when you feel like you can't take a deep breath? You know what I'm saying? It's fine. But so I've just been like really like struggling with just feeling like I suck at what I do. I'm sure that it'll go away. Like today, the guy that I did the freelance job for texted me and was like, hey man, like everything looks great. Like you were freaking out for nothing. Like it's cool, like calm down. So that's cool.
I think freelance is, it's tough. It's like when we submit sponsored stuff for approval, like even if they give you examples, you still are like, is this what they want? What if they're like, this is terrible? Like, I will say with the wine
I
thing.
don't usually feel that way about sponsored stuff though.
Yeah.
I feel confident at this point, at least in what we do, that I'm kind of like, they know the quality of what we're looking, what we produce, and if they don't, then why, then why would they want to work with us? Like it's kind of their own fault.
Yeah, like they should know our style and our vibe and pick us for that reason.
Yeah. So we need money. Which is kind of funny. That rhymes. Remember the other day when we made that video and said that we weren't gonna do a Patreon? Thank you to everybody who commented on the last video with super supportive comments. Thanks to everybody who asked if there was a way for you to donate to us, and for people asking if we would set up a Patreon. We really, really appreciate that. Like I said, or like we said in the comments of that video, we're not gonna set up a Patreon. We're still not gonna do that.
No, we talked about it.
Well,
But
we talked about a bunch of different things, and one of the things we talked about was we talked about doing other sort of crowdfunding type of things. Like we discussed the potential of doing like a Kickstarter, which didn't really make sense, or a GoFundMe, which we kind of felt had slightly weird connotations. And then we settled on, if we were going to do one, it would be Indiegogo. We kind of came to the agreement that we're not really ready to do something like that. You know, that kind of being out of the picture, we were sort of coming up with other ideas. One of them is to just do more sponsored content, which it would be great. It's just that sponsored content tends to have kind of like a drawn out payment period.
Yeah.
Not even payment, but I mean, yes, payment, but like creation also. Because, you know, like if I email a brand today and I'm like, hey, what do you think? Let's work on this. Then there'll typically be some back and forth trying to figure that all out.
Yeah.
And then we have to create the content, blah, blah, blah. You know, it might be a month, it might be a couple months before we even create the content. And then another month before the brand pays us. And we just don't have that kind of time to do, especially because we don't really pitch brands that often. Brands typically pitch us. I am pretty rusty on that, and so I feel like there's gonna kind of be like a learning curve in addition to like just the nature of it being drawn out.
Yeah.
So we decided what we're probably gonna do, I'd say what we're 99% gonna do,
Yeah.
is something, oh, go ahead.
I'd say 99.9.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it because we really need the money.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks because we're not super stoked on it. At least I'm not super stoked on it. I know it's something you've been wanting to do for a long time. I'm not very excited about it, and I feel like I really want to stick with my gut on that, especially after what happened last night, because I had this gut feeling last night that I should not park my car where I parked it. It was just like, that's the best way I can describe it. It was a gut feeling that it was the wrong thing to do. And then lo and behold, we wake up this morning and somebody had hit our car. So my gut, I think it's my gut at least, is telling me not to do what we're about to do.
I don't know if it is your gut, because you also said that about the sponsored content thing and about the potential crowdfunding. You said your gut was saying no. So if it is your gut, it's saying no to everything.
My gut's telling me I really need a haircut. It's kind of a good thing though, regardless of whether I think it's a bad thing. And what I mean for that is, let me explain that better.
Okay.
Well, first maybe we should just say what we're gonna do.
So we are going to be increasing the ads that run on logicalharmony.net on the website. Right now we have below the minimum that our ad company usually sets up for people. That's at a custom request. I think there's 2 that run. And that is like, they were like, really, like we normally wouldn't make an exception for this few ads, but we will for you guys. And we're like, cool. And we've kept it that way for a long time, just in the interest of having a better user experience.
We want you to enjoy being on the website.
Yeah.
And I personally hate ads on websites, which is why I don't want to do this. But I do want to do it because we have to. I'm just saying it's you go on.
So what we're going to do is amp it up just a little bit. Again, we're going with...
Oh no, we're cranking it up to 11, I thought.
11 for us, but it's still under their like normal setup.
I feel like if we're gonna do it, we should just...
I don't want to do it full blast.
Full
what they
throttle.
do full throttle is horrible
It's
to
just
me.
ads everywhere.
It's ads everywhere. It's ads on literally the images you put in your blog post. Like, to me, that's too much. What we are going to do...
To me, any ads are too much. Go on.
What we are going to do is add a couple of in-content ads to blog posts. So that will be like, you're scrolling through, there's a chunk of text, there'll be an ad, more text. There will be at least a full page scroll between each one. So short blog posts might actually only have 1. Longer blog posts might have a couple. That's gonna be the change. That's pretty common. Like, that's extremely common right now. And I talked to a few of our readers to get their input, and they were like, I literally don't even notice those ads on websites. Like the pop-ups, the stuff on images, that's what gets me. I literally don't notice those. So that's what we're gonna do to help us make some more money. And in addition to that, we are going to be publishing a lot more content on the website too.
So that's the good part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were discussing, well, a couple things. One is, if we're gonna put more ads on the site, we wanna have more traffic to the site. And 2 is, we're hoping that even though having a bunch more ads is going to lessen the user experience and give less value to our audience, we're hoping that we'll be able to put out enough amazing content that it will still make Logical Harmony a wonderful place that you love to go.
Yeah, completely. And we want it to be like really helpful resources, really helpful content. So, you know, basically over the past like 2 years, I've been compiling a list of like blog posts people request, resources people request. We're going to start doing more of those. I'm debating, I think we might bring back some product reviews on there, just because I know that's something that we get a ton of traffic on our product reviews, like super specific ones. And for a while we've been doing YouTube videos about them instead. And so just kind of like marrying those 2 content sources a little bit better.
I didn't know we were gonna do that.
Yeah, it's something we talked, like I had mentioned, I guess I had mentioned.
It's a really great idea.
Yeah, just like trying to make things, you know.
I just forgot.
I know. Oh. Like trying to have it be focused on not just we're going to put out some sort of content every day, but it's going to be helpful content. It's going to be beneficial content. And yes, there will be slightly more ads on the website. Honestly, based on what I've talked about with our ad company and seen demos of, like, they put together some mock-ups for me of what the experience will be like on desktop and on mobile. It's still going to be less than you guys are used to seeing on lots of other websites. That's been very important to us from the start. We've really emphasized that to them, and I really appreciate that they're taking that into consideration and like working with us on this custom setup. So for them, they were like, yeah, we'll do more. It's still going to be like a toned down version because we know that's what you want.
Me? Or you?
Us. That's what the ad company is saying to us. Like, they know we want a more toned down version.
Got it.
Than like full on open the gates, open the dam, throw everything out there. Like, because I don't like the experience when I'm on a site trying to use it and the ads literally make it difficult. Like, I'm just like, I'm scrolling I'm just seeing ad after ad after ad, and like, I can't do it. I don't want to do that to Logical Harmony. I don't want to do that to you guys. So we are increasing them.
Yeah. By the way, if any of you know anyone who wants to be an angel investor in Logical Harmony, I don't know if investor is the right word. If you know anybody who wants to give us large sums of money in exchange for nothing, feel free to email me. Flying money emoji.
Yeah, what a perfect pitch.
I mean, we don't have anything to offer anybody. Like,
There's no equity right now. Like,
well,
we don't know
there
what we're
is
doing.
equity, it's just not worth anything.
Yeah.
And I don't think it ever will be.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure that out. And like, when we thought about like, do we want to just increase ads a little bit on the website and at the same time put out more helpful content, or do we want to try and like coordinate more sponsored content? It just seemed like the ad route on the website was the better way to go, because it'll still be valuable content. Not that our sponsored content isn't valuable, but I feel like people perceive sponsored content in a certain light. And so if we increased ads on Instagram and suddenly every other post was sponsored.
I love sponsored content.
I
Not
do
just
too.
for us, but I'm stoked when I see people doing sponsored content. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet, I want you to be able to keep making videos and stuff that I like watching. So I
Yeah.
hope you get sponsored.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree.
I think that people that have a problem with sponsored content literally don't understand how the world works.
I think a lot of them don't understand it. I will say I think a lot of influencers don't necessarily do proper disclosure. And so I feel like whether or not they mean to, I think a lot of people don't understand FTC guidelines on both sides of it. And so I think there's a lot of distrust created unnecessarily and just not on purpose, if that makes sense.
Hey, look who's back. Hi, little cute
Like, I
little
think
baby.
a lot of people assume that if a brand sent you stuff once and then you talk about them later and buy stuff, that you were sponsored somehow. Like, I think it's just gotten confusing for a lot of reasons.
I think that people are sad and like to be upset about things, and that negativity and pessimism are so prevalent in culture
Hi.
that people are just looking for things to be upset about, and sponsored content is an easy thing to be upset about.
Yeah, that's true too. I feel like too, it's more of an issue in the beauty community. And it's like, it's so different somehow, and it's weird to me.
Well, I think that from what I see, there tends to be more drama in the beauty community than in other online communities. And
Yeah.
so I could see that like drama and like gossipy kind of like way of being attracting people that are looking for something to be wrong so that they have something to be dramatic and gossip about.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Unfortunately.
What do you think, Applesauce?
Applesauce thinks that you're the best.
Oh,
I love you. Oh, she gets me sad that I'm picking her up.
I think she
Don't be
doesn't like
sad.
the light.
No one likes the
I
light.
think it's too bright for her
Stay away from
little
the
baby
light.
eyes.
Do you want to do the thing where you pretend like you're going to say something and then we cut it off?
Okay.
Do you want to tell me what it is ahead of time, or are you just
trying
going
to
to do it?
think.
Okay.
I might just do it. So now that we've talked all about that, there's something else that's really important that we want to share with you guys, and that is that.
No, you can't do it that way.
What? Why?
No, because that's mean, because then people think that there's something really important that you're going to say. It's got to be like fun and lighthearted.
Then I don't think I'm the best person for it.
It's got to be like, what do you mean? You're not fun and
I
lighthearted?
think I have a hard time being fun and lighthearted and fake dramatic.
Huh.
At least on the spot.
Listen, okay, I can teach you, but it's a 3-step process. Step 1. Today was pretty brutal. Tashina and I started the day by discussing what we had discussed in yesterday's vlog about what we were going to do to make money, advertising, and that basically led into a huge argument. We realized that we're not going to make anywhere near what we thought we would from the ads. It's kind of a long story of why that is, but the point is that the day started out very poorly. Basically, right when the day started to turn around and we kind of started to reconcile things, Tashina noticed that Penny was acting weird. We ended up taking Penny to the vet. It turns out that she needs another blood transfusion. So it was basically like the day started out horrible, stressed out about money, arguing, and then we had to take Penny to the vet for an emergency visit, only to find out that she has to have another blood transfusion, which I don't know if I can really get into the details of that without getting really emotional and crying, so I'm not going to. Suffice to say, today was not an easy day. We are more and more considering the potential of doing something like Indiegogo and asking for people's help. I think we're going to try to avoid having to get help from people and just do it on our own. But don't be surprised if by the time this video goes live, there's also an Indiegogo campaign, because at this point, we don't know where we're going to move, we don't have the money to move, and it seems like we're it just feels like things are getting crazier and crazier every day. So anyway, thanks for your support. Thanks for watching this channel. Thanks for, watching Logical Harmony. So we took Penny to the vet yesterday morning, and she was supposed to have a blood transfusion. But being that this is her second transfusion, they have to basically, I guess when they do the first one, they can have a pretty close match, but it doesn't have to be spot on perfect. Mm-hmm. But with the second one, it's a lot more likely that she might reject the blood or have other bad side effects from the transfusion. So it's super important that they get an exact blood match, or at least really, really, really close.
Yeah. And
they couldn't find a donor. So they sent her home on some medication. She might still need a transfusion. Basically we're hoping that the medication is going to be enough to stabilize her numbers, mm-hmm. and that she won't need a transfusion. If she does, we're not really sure what we're going to do, or how we're going to do it. The option is to go to a university out here that does a lot of animal agriculture stuff, and therefore has huge blood banks for dogs, cats, and cows. So it's pretty much guaranteed that they'll be able to get a match for Penny. It will also be somewhere in the range of $4,000 to do that. Obviously that's not a small amount of money. And it's not even that it's about the money, it's just that we don't have that money. So we're both kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
I think we were kind of freaking out a little bit before this whole thing with Penny.
Yeah, we definitely were. And this has made it a lot harder. And what the vet was saying is with their first transfusion, it can be a general blood type match, type A, type A. Or if someone is, if a cat is type AB and they're a universal donor or whatever that type would be, then it could be that too. But with the second one, it has to match proteins beyond that. And we're just really hoping that one of their donors, because they have multiples, would be a match. And it's scary to think I don't know, we just don't know. And since we literally don't have $4,000,
I mean, we don't have $1,000.
No, after everything that's gone on, it's cost us all the money that we have. And it's just really hard to know that, her life is factored into that now, and it's just not when the vet was saying, oh, I can refer you to this place, they'll probably have a match, it will be more expensive. I thought by more expensive that they meant $500 more than what they would have charged for the second transfusion. They were only going to charge us $1,000 or $900. And so I was like, okay, if that probably means it's like $1,500 or something. Like we can
In addition to what we've already paid.
Yeah. So, which has been like $500 so far. And so I was like, okay, if it's $1,500 more, like we could probably swing that. And then when I called and they were like, I called yesterday and talked to them and they're like, well, just to get in is $250. And then based on what you're saying, it's probably going to be about $4,000 for just the transfusion itself, plus the $250 just to get her in, plus money for additional meds, and that it might be more depending on how many tests they need to do to find a match. Like, it's just, like, that's so crazy to me that, like, I get it because it's funding, like, whatever they do at the university, but also, like, it shouldn't be so outrageously expensive. Like, that's not, I'm just having a hard time with it because it's like, that's, so many people could not afford that. And if you're at the point where you're having to go to the specialist hospital for your pet, like, clearly your pet is not doing well, and like, I don't know, I just, like, that's like not the time where stuff should be so crazy expensive that it's just not anywhere near doable for most people, I feel like.
I feel like too, though, it's like, if we can't afford to take care of the animals that we adopt, then maybe we shouldn't have adopted them in the first place. I'm not saying it's fair.
It's so not fair.
Or like, it's cool. I'm just saying,
I guess I just don't...
It's our fault.
I guess I just don't think anyone adopts a pet thinking, like, I might need to have, like, $5,000 on hand in case they get sick. Like, you're thinking about their regular vet appointments, their vaccinations. Like, you're thinking about just the regular things and, like, oh, yeah, something might happen, so I should have some money set aside, but you don't think it'll be this much. It's crazy. And I'm worried, too. We could go through this, and then in another 6 months, she could need another one, because that's what's happened this time. And, like, so it's like we could go through it and figure it out, and then it means nothing. And the thing is that the vet was saying each time you have to do it, it's harder for them. And I just can't, like, I don't know what she's going through. She's clearly not feeling good, but, like, I just don't know how she's feeling, and, like, it's just too hard with everything. Like, if it had just been this, we probably could have swung it and figured out the money, but, like, with everything. Like, I hope the pills are enough, but I feel like we also need to prepare for if they're not, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, maybe they would do a payment plan, like, I don't, but still, that's so much money. And my worry is, like, yeah, what if, I mean, we should talk to the vet and be like, clearly we need to figure out something long-term for her, because it shouldn't have, like, it happened again. You know, she was at the vet in December, and it was, like, solid numbers. So clearly when it happens quickly.
So last night we were talking we did have some ideas of what to do, at least financially.
Yeah.
So we probably will end up doing some sort of crowdfunding thing. I think we're both pretty much on the same page that we don't expect anybody to contribute to it. Everybody has their own financial stuff going on. Everybody has their own family stuff and their own emergencies, and nobody owes us anything. Like, we don't expect people to just give us their money that they worked hard for. Like,
no. You all, like you said, you all have your own stuff going on.
Because of that, we know that even if we do a crowdfunding thing, we need to have kind of a backup plan. From our conversations yesterday, it sounds like the main thing we're going to kind of focus on is trying to get more sponsored content and create more blog content to bring more traffic to the site so we can make more money just via advertising dollars.
Yeah. And through hopefully affiliate stuff by doing that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to hopefully get more freelance work. Although so far it's paying okay, but it's, for the time, it doesn't pay what I think we could make with sponsored content from Logical Harmony. So it's like, it's kind of a hard like gamble for me, I guess, is like spending the time to go out and shoot this freelance stuff and then feel like I could have made us more money faster if I had been better at responding to email and setting up sponsored stuff. It's just, it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to really describe what I'm trying to say there. What else did we talk about doing? That was kind of it, huh? In general, I don't believe that a good business practice is to do things that are short-term financial, like just based on short-term financials. However, right now, the situation that we're in, with the car, with Penny, with having to move in about a month and a half, like, we have to do what is going to make us the most amount of money the fastest. Obviously within our ethical, moral, you know, belief systems.
Yeah.
We have to do what is going to make us money fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's definitely, I feel like, harder in our niche. Like, the sponsored stuff is different. It's more difficult. Like, the other day I got a pitch from a huge brand that tests on animals, and they're like, we want to do this like 3-post campaign for a few $1,000s, and just like, there's no way I would do it, but it's like, why does this have to come right now from this brand?
Yeah, it's funny, right? It's like, there's no amount of money you could pay us to promote brands that test on animals. So that's not really it, but it's frustrating because it's like, why can't these cruelty-free brands offer the same budget, you know?
Yeah, like, why couldn't this have come from something that would have been a good fit? Like, we could really use it, and instead it's just like, it's tough. Like Justin said, we don't want money to be driving what we're doing, and right now I feel like we're in a position where it has to, and neither of us like that. Like,
yeah, it's not how we want to run Logical Harmony.
No, it's like the opposite. We've always wanted it to be run by like content people enjoy, stuff people are requesting, products I enjoy, things like that, and I think it still will.
Yeah, it's still gonna be how we do it. We just need to be doing way more content way faster.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about filming every single day, putting out a video every single day, putting out a blog post every single day.
Yeah, doing more on Instagram.
Yeah.
And basically, too, along with that, making self-care a huge thing, because that's also very necessary right now.
Yeah, that's true. That was one huge part of our conversation from yesterday.
Yeah.
Essentially, we were just discussing how probably the reason we're feeling so overwhelmed and so burnt out is because we stopped getting up at 5, we stopped doing yoga every morning. I wouldn't say we've been like excessively drinking, but maybe a beer like 2 or 3 times a week we've been doing. We're not putting in the same amount of self-care that we were a week and a half ago. You know, like when all this stuff started to happen, all the self-care and everything kind of started to come crashing down.
Yeah.
Part of that was just I was exhausted from getting up at 5 every day. But we need to get back on that.
Yeah.
So what are we doing today? What are we gonna go do right now?
We have to go to the grocery store. We have to get canned food for Penny that she will eat. Because thankfully they gave her an appetite stimulant. And then we need to film something. I'm not quite sure what. We're gonna go home and start working on content and figure that out. Even if it's just talking about like what we're going to be doing and figuring out a plan. Like we need to figure out crowdfunding. Like there's just a lot we need to figure out and we need to do it fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, and by the way, we also want to start a podcast.
Yeah.
A podcast about what it's like working together.
Yeah.
What it's like to work with a cute little cutie.
I feel so gross right now.
You look cute.
Thank you. I don't, but thank you.
I think you do. Alright, get out of here. Get a room. I just finished editing the freelance video that I shot last night. What are you working on? Or what have you been working on, I guess?
I've been working on making a list of affiliate links for all the products that I have here, so it'll be faster when doing video captions in the future to put stuff in.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very tedious, but it has to be done. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. It's not super exciting, but it's okay. It'll make...
Spaghetti.
What are you doing? That's not for you. Those aren't your PR packages.
You don't know that for sure.
I'm not doing great, but it's tough because like I just want to be in there hanging out with Penny. But we need to work, we need to make money, and so it's just like it's a struggle because like I need to be here, I need to be working, I need to be focused, but it's so hard to be focused. It's so hard to do what I need to do and to like really buckle down on it too. Like, cause it's like, I can't just do the bare minimum. I need to do so much more because that's the situation that we're in now, unfortunately. So I'm not doing great. We were gonna film. I totally forgot about filming. We need to. So I need to figure that out and figure out what we're gonna film and then probably drink some coffee so I have a bit more energy and I'm not just like bleh in the video. I don't know what kind of video makes sense. Like I don't know if a chatty get ready with me does because I feel like I'm in such a down mood, but maybe it would also be good because it can help explain to people what's going on. I'm just not sure if I can really talk about stuff without getting like upset, and I just don't know if that's something I can do. So it's hard to think about like what to film. Bagheera, will you get off the counter, please? Oh, he's like, you're occupied? Let me go chew on this thing.
You know, at a certain point, you just have to start laughing about things. While we were filming that last little bit of Tashina talking, I got a text message from my aunt. You may remember that we were renting our last living situation from that aunt, and she had not cashed some of the old rent checks, so she told us now, like, you know, several months later, like 5 or 6 months later, that the checks had expired. We hadn't realized it because we don't keep that close an eye on checks that we write to people. We just assume that, you know, we send a check and they cash it because that's what I would do. Anyway, so we owed her $1,000 and she just texted us while we were filming that last thing And apparently she didn't cash way more checks. So we actually owe her $2,500. I don't even know what to say. Like, hi. How you feeling? I really appreciate you sitting down to film with everything that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we need to. That's like the bottom line is I need to push through it and take care of ourselves, but also keep working.
Yeah.
Which I'm getting a lot of supportive messages from people saying to like take time off, but just I wish we could. It just I wish we could. Like that would definitely be the ideal. It's hard to work, but we have to. And I think that's what's hard is when I mean, everyone that works, you can't always take time off when you want. Yeah. So just pushing through it. Thank you for doing the same.
It's the life we chose.
Yep, it is.
Can you look into the camera and give me one more mic test?
Hey everyone, this is Tashina from Logical Harmony. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be doing a chatty get ready with me with drugstore products that are new to me. So I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, let's film this mother. What you doing?
I'm taking my makeup off right now. Just getting ready for bed.
Cool. It's 10 o'clock.
I know, we should get in bed soon.
I just finished, well, I didn't finish. I just stopped editing this video.
Yeah, it's a long one, huh?
Yeah. What's the plan for tomorrow?
I don't know, I was gonna ask you, because you had mentioned maybe seeing your brother.
I want to see his new baby, but I don't know. I'm also hesitant because we really need to be working.
Yeah. I think tomorrow we get up early. We do yoga, have a good breakfast, and figure out GoFundMe stuff. And get that ready to go. I'm breaking out right here.
I don't know.
I know, my skin's really bad right now.
Mine too.
I think it's everything going on and just like not taking care of it. But yeah, I think that's what we should do tomorrow. And I think there is time if you want to go see the baby. We just need to like be scheduled about it and efficient.
You gotta see the baby.
Hi. Hi, Applesauce. Come here. Come here. Oh, little baby. My not so little baby.
How's your day been so far?
The day's been pretty good so far. We got up later than... Really? We got up later than we meant to, but I think we both just needed some extra rest and then...
The cats were so noisy last night.
Yeah, they were. I made celery juice in the blender because I didn't want to deal with cleaning the juicer. It's definitely way, way better in a juicer. Learned that the hard way, I guess you could say, but now I know. And I had some coffee and got ready, and then we're gonna go out to San Francisco because Justin's brother and his wife just had their baby yesterday. So we're gonna go meet her.
Yeah.
And Applesauce is very upset she can't go, clearly. She's so fussy right now. Applesauce. Oh, she just ripped my pants.
So we're driving our rental car to San Francisco. And I'm kind of freaked out a little bit. Here's a story about Geico. So far through this process, they've been super helpful and pretty great, except for one thing, which is that our car was supposed to be inspected by Geico to determine damages and everything the day after it had been towed. That was the earliest they said that they could do it, but we never heard from them. So I've checked in twice, well 3 times total, and the first time they were just like, yeah, we don't know what to tell you, call the dude who, like, the inspector dude, and here's his information. So I called him and no answer, and it just kept ringing and it didn't go to voicemail, so I didn't leave a voicemail. And then I called and did get a hold of them. So here's the part where I'm a little bit concerned. Our rental car, since the inspection hasn't happened, Geico hasn't determined how long we need a rental car for, so it actually was set to expire today. So when I finally did get a hold of somebody at Geico, they did say, you know, it would be extended 1 day, so that it ends tomorrow instead of today. They never sent me a confirmation that that was extended. Now that it's Sunday, the rental car place is not open, so I can't confirm it with them. There's clouds outside which keep changing the light. That's why this keeps going from light to dark, and I'm trying to make up for it with my settings here. Normally I wouldn't be concerned with a small detail like this, but with everything that's gone wrong, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the rental never got changed and then it becomes a whole other thing. So that is my story about Geico. We're about to meet my new niece. Are you so excited?
I am. Are you?
I'm really, really excited. Let's go. Did you have fun meeting my niece?
Mm-hmm. She's really cute.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah. I wish I had more to say about her other than her being cute, but right now, it's kind of all she has going for her.
Yeah. So we're at Target. We're getting like super junk cat food for Penny because she's refusing to eat, and the vet was like, just anything that she'll eat, even if it's like Meow Mix or Friskies, like it doesn't matter how like low quality it is, that a lot of cats will eat that no matter what because it's like giving them candy basically. So that's what we're doing. So I'm trying to figure out which flavor of these she might actually eat. Like, should we do kitten? Should we, like, I just don't know.
Today's kind of been a mix of emotions, huh? It was like really fun and special being at the hospital, meeting my new niece.
Yeah.
Kind of like gave us a minute to forget about everything going on with Penny and at home, and then
It's like we get home and she's just not doing well. She's just like laying there staring at nothing, like it's making me really nervous. I guess I'll try maybe this, the extra gravy. Maybe the fat in it. Will you go for that?